All right. I think we're live. Welcome, everybody. Oh,
Hi,
here
guys.
we go. Now we're live.
Yay, now we're live.
It is your host, Helen Edwards.
And your co-host, Nita B. What's up, guys?
Welcome to Sexy Freedom Media Podcast,
Woo!
episode 16.
Wow, I can't believe we're coming to the end of the year in so many ways.
That's right. I know. We're actually going to use this podcast today to reflect on 2018, how it's impacted us, what we've learned, and what we're going to take with us into 2019.
Yes, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have a lot of stories you would like to share with us. Note that you can on YouTube at Sexy Freedom Media.
Yes. All right. So what's up, girl?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I'll tell you what I'm doing now. I am definitely working a lot more beyond my natural 8 to 5 type of job. I got some seasonal jobs I'm doing, got some brand ambassadoring jobs I'm working on, and obviously our business here, which is incredible. Yes. I didn't ever think that I would have the energy to be able to pull something like this off and also parent my son. So it's like blowing my mind that I still have energy to do everything, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
You've definitely grown a lot this past year. And I've seen you blossom and mature. And I mean, we kind of always mature as we go, but it's like a new level for you of maturity. And
thank you.
You're welcome. That'll be $5.
Hey, $5 make a holla. Ching. So what about you? I noticed that you had written a blog.
I did write a blog.
Let's talk about this blog.
I wrote a blog, and for people that don't know, because I'm an author of my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom, which I actually have boobage. I have right here. If you don't have your copy, go get it. It's now gone international. Nothing Sexier Than Freedom. It's an amazing book that I wrote. It took me 5 years on passion, pain, pursuit, perseverance, and sex.
Don't forget the sex part.
Yes. And it's doing very well. I've got nothing but 5 stars on Amazon.
Yay.
I'm very, very pleased. And I actually have not really done any marketing on it. It's all referral based. And so one of the things that I have learned from this year is more about business and marketing, which we are going to be using for 2019 on our book and other products in our business.
Yay! So thank you, all you legacy sharers, you legend bearing, incredible people. We love you all.
We do love you.
Because it's all because of you guys that she's been able to make that happen, and
absolutely,
we've had such incredible retreats and events. So we want to thank you guys from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you so much.
December is this is what it's about, right? Gratitude.
Right.
Yes.
And if you haven't read my blog, I really suggest it. And I suggest it for one main reason is because if you have gone through a hard time, or you're going to go through a hard time, or you're going through a hard time now, my blog really touches base on the hard times that I went through this past year, and how no matter what I went through, I kept persevering towards my dreams.
Yep, exactly. And she's been such a tornado in a good way, because she's just going through it, like you just don't stay in that one place. You're like, okay, well, I'm in this momentum and I'm cycling everything else around me. If you're for the good, you're going to stay in the cycle. And if you're for the bad, you're going to get tossed out. So it's been incredible to see you move in such a way that you didn't even think you were capable of. There's been a couple of times she's wanted to quit, just say, I'm done, just kind of level it all out, but she's come back on her own to give a little bit meaning to more lives and to herself, and it's really been blossoming into something incredible.
That's so true. Well, I think you touched on a really important subject is when I was feeling like I was going to fall apart, and it's something that I didn't mention in the blog that I kind of wish I had emphasized more about, because actually in the blog, I talk about the 3 things that I have been consistent with, which is being grateful, forward thinking, and also, I can't remember what that's.
Authenticity.
Authenticity, right. Well, thank you. So
I told you I read it.
Grateful, authentic, and forward thinking.
Yes.
But the one thing that really was the back end of it was my cheerleaders, which is my tribe. Yeah. And thankfully, Denita is definitely one of my tribe. There's a small circle, but we're small but mighty. Yeah. And when one of us falls, the other one, dusts her off and picks her back up and picks,
exactly.
Fixes her crown, like that quote.
Okay, there we go again.
Yeah. And at the last speaking engagement that we went to, or that we were our speaking engagement, what we're talking about, our speaking engagement, there was a couple of women that asked, how do they find their tribe?
Right.
Or spoke about the tribe that they're in and they're not getting the support that they need. And how do they find these women, these strong women, quotation strong. And it just made me realize what a blessing it is to have strong women in your life.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has it.
That's a really good point to bring into 2019. You know, we're going to be focusing on finding your community. So anything that you're doing with us, you're going to be able to find a community of people that you can share with, that you can grow with, that you can be real in front of. Well, we really preach being authentic, because sometimes people think that you have to be perfect to have friends, and you don't. You have your certain things that you like to care about and that you maybe don't like at all. And there are other people that are out there just like you. We want you to know that you have somebody that you can vibe with. So that's all about one of our focuses for 2019.
Right. So let me ask you something, because you read my blog, you know what I did. What about you? What is one thing that you have reflected on and learned from this last year that you definitely are taking with you into 2019?
Okay, so there's a Chinese proverb that I heard, and I've been running with this as much as possible every time I try to remember it, which is you have to be like wind. And with the wind, you have a wall that you can build up, or you can be a windmill. So as the wind blows, you can be that standing wall that's very stubborn and doesn't move, or you can decide to be a little bit flexible and move like a windmill. So in my journey through 2018, I've learned that it's best to be the windmill and be a little flexible. One, because it helps my relationships, where it doesn't feel like I'm the one that's always trying to control everything. And sometimes that gets a little stagnant too, because you're like, okay, that, and this, but that doesn't always work. You can't always plan everything out. Everything can't be perfect. Sometimes you got to be a little bit flexible, just like the wind, and not taking things personal. That has been my other thing that I've learned a lot for 2017 and 2018, because in that format, when you don't take things personal, you realize if there's something that somebody has an issue with you, most likely it's not you. Most likely something's going on with them and they don't know how to share it. They don't know how to release it. So they're just putting it out on you because something recently happened between you guys. So that's been another thing I've been trying to cope with. Yeah.
That's a big wow, actually, because we all know this, but for you to actually say, I recognize this in my life, and I do need to change this, that's huge.
Yeah, it is really, really huge. And I'm also teaching this to my son as well. There's a couple things that, he's 6, he doesn't know. When he sees it, he's like, well, I don't understand why that happened. What's going on? And I'm teaching him that we learn to be a little bit flexible in life, and that we also don't take things personal, because maybe something's going on with them that they haven't expressed. And with you being there and being a shoulder to cry on, they'll really appreciate your presence. Yes, presence, instead of you getting mad at them and then creating more hectic environments.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're shaping his life as a mom. You are instilling some very good values and practices in his life at a younger age, which is brilliant. Yeah, it's very, very brilliant. You are mothers, fathers, parents, are caretakers, anybody who's watching or building a child up. You are building the leaders of tomorrow.
A lot of talk has been going around on Instagram about not having a broken, being broken yourself as a parent, and then building broken children. We don't want our foundations for our children to be broken. So let's try to encourage them to get to know their purpose in this universe. Ask this of yourself, like, hey, what is my purpose here? And yes, you're not going to get an answer, and all of a sudden there's going to be a big giant sign, but just to practice that type of, I am, and I feel like I'm here for this purpose. And maybe that purpose might change, as it should. You're going to be growing, so why not? But these are the things we want to practice with our children, instead of just saying, nope, this is the way I've always learned it, so you're going to learn it this way, and I don't know what else to tell you.
Yes. Yes. One of the things that I like what you said again. I like everything you say. I'm just gonna be like your biggest fan. I like everything you say.
$5.
Is that it sounds like you're not only are you learning what something for yourself, but you are carrying it into your home.
Yes.
And whether that's with your child or anybody else in your home, you are still bringing it back with you.
Yep. Excellent.
Or wherever you're at, even in your job.
That's right. That's right. It's been incredible. This whole year has been so incredible about what I've learned and how you speak and how you just say thank you for somebody else's time. We had a team like holiday lunch today, and some of the members couldn't make it, and that's totally fine. But we kind of came in with each other and we're like, just thank you for being here and making the environment bright again. Mm-hmm. And it was so nice to just share in that moment of just saying, hey, I remember you as a coworker. Some of us work from home 24/7, so we don't see each other very often. Mm. So today was a day of saying, hey, I remember you. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
Absolutely. Gratitude is so big. And it could definitely turn your storm into some sunshine. So I love gratitude. And I am also a big believer that, when you're in a state of, I don't give a fuck, it's hard to be grateful. And I get that. I get that. I got you. I know. However, it doesn't mean that your heart and your body is not saying it's grateful for something. Yeah. Your mind may be doing its own thing and being all like, poor me, or, that sucks. I went through this, or I'm mad at the world. But it doesn't mean that your body can't say, hey, I'm so thankful for being here, having 2 arms, 2 legs, or, even if it's 1 arm, just being thankful to be alive in this one experience called life.
Yes. And what she's saying right now is just that when you take the opportunity, just stretch out and say you love the way you move, the way you groove, and that, right?
The way you groove. Hey, hey, yeah.
A little short. You didn't know it was coming through. So now we're going to groove for you. What?
What? We need a rapper.
All right. So anyways. Yeah, but I like that. I like that you're saying, sometimes your brain could be a little bit off, right? You're just thinking, I just got to get it in. I got to get this done. I can't worry about everybody else. I can't show up for them. But you can say, you know what? Thank you, self, for being here and allowing me to pull through this cycle, whatever I'm going through.
Okay.
I'll take that.
So what are 2 things that you can literally, it comes to mind, something that happened, like it was grueling tough, but you pushed through using all the tools that you had learned up to that point during this last year? 2 things. Because I know storms come because seasons change. It's bound to happen.
Okay. So I guess we got to get a little real.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, I had a conversation with my son's dad. And
you don't got to tell all the details, just, it was tough.
Yeah.
And then what did you, how did you push through that in it was short summary?
It was really tough. And even now I can kind of feel the anxiety that brings me up around it. But I thought to myself, and I said, you know what? Let me be the flexible one with an open heart and doing things right and appreciating the fact that my son's dad is around my son. I'm just going to put it out there and say, I understand where you're coming from. I would like to practice what you want to do, and we'll see if it works. So I just kind of use that flexible tool.
I like that.
To come in to say, I can't necessarily agree with you 100%. Mm-hmm. And I can obviously see that there's some backlash here, but I'm going to take the opportunity to say, we can try what you want to do and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll try what I want to do and see if it works. And then we'll come back at it. I, at first, felt like that I was the one having to give in, which I feel like I'm always doing that. Like I'm always giving in to somebody else's wants and worries or cares or their desires. And I feel like I have to step up to be the bigger person. But in all actuality, my heart feels 1,000% better because I stepped out and said, you know what, let's be flexible. I stepped out in gratitude with an open heart and said, if this happens, this will happen. And we'll just figure out, what kind of journey we come across at the end. That made me feel 100% better. And I can tell you, like, as of today, my son's dad came and picked up my son. I felt like our interaction was like of people actually interacting with people and being civil instead of these like giant walls that were built up where we didn't even want to see each other.
That's wow.
So it was really, really good. And that my son felt that same energy as well. He played basketball with me. And then I had left and he played basketball with his dad. And then they left and they had a good time. And I am so thankful for that. Thank goodness we are practicing what we're learning in 2018 and hopefully bringing that to 2019.
This is what I'm talking about. Maturity right here. You really adulted that.
Yeah.
And you used two things, your flexibility and you communicated.
Yeah.
Like you really put your ego aside and did what's best for what you saw can really lay out a nice, beautiful future foundation for the relationship between you guys to have something to raise your son with.
Yes. And that was really, really hard.
Anyway, I think I explained that right.
It was really, really hard, but we did.
I bet it was hard.
We did.
It's not easy. It's not easy doing what is called for you to do so that way you can have a better life, a better future, a better relationship. It's not easy at all. And that is the way in my mind that I feel the game is designed for us. Yeah. It is designed for us to grow and push through and become better, wiser, stronger, and more courageously so we can pass that on to our younger generation.
The most beautiful flowers are grown in dirt. So sometimes it's going to get a little muddy. It's going to be a little murky. It's not going to smell beautiful. But when you get through that, initial ground, what you see blossom out of that is beautiful. And it's all about the way you tenderize that soil, and you just got to open up your heart a little bit more. Sometimes you might not be used to it. Sometimes you don't even want to. Your body's like, no, I resist. I hesitate. I don't want it.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, I was having this conversation with my sister, and I said, I noticed something as I reflected back on my year. Because I'm a person that likes to go and spend time watching the sunset, just me and my car Chico, and we just go and we sit there and, I go and I play music, and I just like to have alone time and reflect and give thanks to the, great spirit. And I had this reflection on my life that my brother passed a year ago. And I also went through some crazy storms this past year. Yeah. One of those being going to jail. Yeah. And you would think that I would get depressed, but actually I noticed and became aware I only got depressed one time, one day out of that whole year. Yeah. And I realized depression is different from being sad. I did get utterly sad. I did feel utterly destroyed. I did get angry. I went through all different kinds of emotions, but I did not get depressed, but just one day. Yeah. And when I did get depressed that one day, I caught myself and I said, oh, hell no. Yes. You've worked too hard to get to this point.
That's what I'm telling you.
To get depressed.
That's right.
You're not about to feel sorry for yourself. You get your ass back up and you make shit happen. Even if you have a house arrest little thing on your leg and you can't go nowhere, you better start doing yoga. You better start praying.
Oh, it was classic.
You better start stretching.
It was classic, guys.
You're stuck here. You better get to reading.
If we ever do
I had to literally discipline myself and stop coddling myself and stop feeling bad for myself and say, you have this opportunity to have some self-reflect, to self-growth, to whatever. Everything you need is in your room. There's books you need to dust off, things like that. And it made me realize depression, I'm beating your ass. Yeah. I'm beating your ass. Yep. Okay. You thought you had me, but you don't. And not saying that it won't ever come back around, but I struggled with depression for many, many years. Yeah. Struggled with being bipolar, struggled with multiple personalities, struggled with just a lot of really heartaches and pains in my life. And I was able to reflect and see the growth that I've had. Yes. And that's phenomenal. Yeah. It's phenomenal. I can't even believe it. But I do believe it. And I'm truly, truly thankful that I have become this warrior who's fighting for me when, nobody else is going to fight for you in those hard times. You've got to really stand up for yourself.
Well, that was one of the big things you had mentioned too for the year, is that when you came across those moments where you were like, dang, you know, I have to go to jail for this situation. You were like, I really feel terrible right now. Like, why did I let this happen? And you had to talk to yourself. And I remember you were telling me like, you wanted to just kind of sit in this moment and be like, woe is me, give up. You know, I'm not good enough to keep pulling through this. And then the next day, I think we had a conversation. The next day you were like, yo, D, so this is what we got to work on. And we're going to do this and we're going to do this. I got this going on and this is not stopping me right now. And I loved it because the energy that you pulled through after just having a conversation of just getting it out there. Sometimes you just need to talk about the shit, right?
Just get it out.
Sometimes you just need to be like, this is the shit. It sucks. I don't like it. And then the next day you go, oh, yes, I don't like it. I can fix it. And then you start working on fixing it. Yeah. So it's so much clearer sometimes when you just let it go and stop living in the shame that you got to carry that on your back all the time. Yes. Because you don't. And I love that.
Okay, so for anybody out there that, you know, you're going through some things and you're trying to figure out your goals and you're reflecting yourself on your past year, because everybody right now, as they're scrounging, they're starting to set their goals. They're like, oh my God, I'm about to hit the reset button. I've got like a few more weeks left. Oh my God. Okay, calm down. We're gonna give you some tips. We're not gonna let you go easy. We're gonna help you out for 2019. Okay, so here we go. Get your pen out. 2019 is just around the corner. What are you going to do?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give 2 of my biggest tips, and then you give 2. How about you give 2 of your biggest tips, and I give 2 of my biggest tips? Okay. Yes. All right, go for it.
Okay, so biggest tips when it comes to getting started for the new year. Okay, you got to ask yourself, what do I want to do? Oh my gosh, it's that hard, right? So what do I want to do for the new year? It could be anything. It could be going somewhere. It could be reading a book. It could be, taking a Pilates class. It could be learning how to make your own wooden bench, whatever. Just try something new. Try something different. Just say, what do I want to do? Okay. Now, I like to think of it as this is like my goal, but I always ask, how can I help others? Simple, right? How can I help others? Sometimes that can be just walking with somebody to the bus stop or smiling at somebody when I'm at the store. It could be giving a random gift card, be like, hey, there you go. Have a good day. Or paying for the next person in line. Just a small way to help other, a little act of kindness right there. So that's how I kind of start out my year. What would I like to do? And how can I help others?
I like that you gave questions because that's asking yourself, which is requiring from yourself an answer from within.
Yes, exactly.
I like that. Okay, so my 2 tips are a little bit different. So she asked the questions. I'm going to help you with the answers. You're lucky. Okay, my first tip, do what you say you're going to do. If you tell somebody or tell the world or even posting a positive quote, don't just talk about it, be about it.
Yeah.
Okay. We all got a bunch of people out there who are saying this and that. Be different.
Yes.
And different means you're going to actually do it.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Are getting judged by others? Fuck it. People are going to judge you anyways. Everybody does it. So do what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
The second thing is go to, and this requires movement, go to retreats, go to workshops, go to classes, get yourself in. It may require an investment, small to large, even investment of your time. If it's free.
That's another great question. What about willing to invest?
Go to it. Okay. Because you've played the games. You've already went to the baseball stuff and the football stuff and the parties and this and that and this and that. And you got to know, if you're not getting the results you want by the end of the year from the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, it's time to change it up. Start going to the classes, the retreats, the workshops, the speaking engagements, and all of the events that you need to go to get the education to get to where you want to go.
Oh my goodness. That is so huge. When you take action, just think, what verb will I be today? Verb means action.
What verb am I going to be today? That's the third one for her. I love it.
It's just small things that you can quickly think of and that you can change them up throughout the whole year. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I want to go travel to Europe and then you're trying to race to get to Europe. That's too lofty. Do something that's simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Just keep it simple and then you'll rock out 2019, just like we're going to tell you about how we're going to rock out 2019 too. We got some great events coming up.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be incredible. I can't wait to post up our calendar for what we plan on doing. You want to tell them about some of the things?
Yeah, let me tell you about some of the things. So we actually are offering a donation-based event. So it's donations only. So if you even got just $1, show up.
Yeah.
We're going to give you tons of free information. We have 4 speakers. We have 2 surprise guests who are going to be at our speaking engagement. So if you're in Phoenix, Arizona, come January 19th, 2019. It is on a Saturday. It is from 2 to 4:30 p.m. We even have a questionnaire at the end where you will be able to ask questions to our speakers about anything their topics and anything you have to ask. And we will have a book signing. I will be there with my book,
Hey.
Freedom, doing a book signing. And we would love to see you there. That's one event. Another event that we have going on is our 2nd annual Wild Woman Howling Retreat. It is totally affordable. It is in nature. You will love it. We have a special going on, and we will be offering a special that day. So if you are there, you will get to see or receive what the special is.
Yay! Some exciting information.
Yeah.
And I think we also have a retreat coming up.
I just mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was thinking about the speaking engagement. I was like, oh, what we're going to do.
We do have a lot of events going up. And we want you to subscribe. Keep updated with all the information we have.
Yes.
So go to our website, www.sexyfreedommedia.com. Also is www.sexyfreedom.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, get all of our blogs, our newsletters, our events, everything.
Well, you can also follow us on Instagram. So if you want to follow us as your host and your co-host, you can do that at Nita B Experience. And then
Sexy Freedom Media.
Yeah.
Also at Wild Movement events for our retreats.
And then always remember to subscribe on YouTube as well. So you can always be updated. Just smash that subscribe button so we can always keep you updated on our events and what's coming up. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bring in 2019 with a bang. We love you guys. Enjoy. Celebrate your life. You're worth it.
Oh, my goodness.
Ciao.